What is up, guys? Ready to do another PSA submission. Got a decent stack of stuff going on over here. Just kind of want to record this for my own sake, just for me knowing what I put in here and to look back and double check to see, how I graded it versus how they came back once they came back from grading. So, first things first, we got a 2013 Topps Tom Brady. I sent some of these like pink and then a silver, and they both came back 10s. Looked at this one. There was a print line in the front by the waist somewhere over here. I'm not even going to pull the cards out. I know that the savers are kind of scratched up too, but there was a little print line or something around the waist, and then on the back there was a scuff on the left hand side. That's kind of what I got marked on this one. Looks like that corner might have a little soft corner, and then it says I got it off-centered, top and bottom, and right to left. So on the back it's a little bit off-center. You can see that is thinner, that is thicker. Top and bottom looks a little better, but that from there to there looks different. Man, I'm seeing these corners. I'm just wondering if it's in this, the way that it's sitting in this sleeve, and it's kind of giving pressure and making it look a little darker. But that's gonna be the first one to go. Is the Tom Brady orange. I gave it a 9/10. Could be 9, could be 10, depending on who's grading it. Man, I'm just looking at it now with the off-centering and stuff. I'm leaning more towards 9 on that one. So here is a 93 Bettis upper deck. What I had on this one is there's like a little front lip at the very top of this card. I don't know if I'll be able to catch with the glare. You can kind of see it right up there. There's a little bit of like lippage on this card where it comes up, and I don't really know how to fix that or if there's a way to fix it. But Jerome Bettis rookie card, and I figured give it a shot. That was the only thing that I saw on it was that that lip. Everything else looked pretty good. Centering wise looked good. Corners, edges all looked pretty solid. So I threw that in the submission. Next we have an Amon-Ra St. Brown auto number 275. This is a rookie. This one I've had for a while, and with the Lions kind of taking off, I was like, man, I looked it up and I was like, yeah, I should have sent it in to get grading. It's been in my grading pile actually for a little while. I just haven't got a submission put together to send out. So what we got on this one, so bottom right corner is rounded. Bottom right corner, I don't know if it's that one or if it's going to be the one on the back. And then centering on the back is a little off. Centering, I guess, from there to there or top to bottom. Not sure. I made these notes. Some of these cards I looked over a little while ago, and just looking back at it now, reading some of these notes that I wrote myself, I'm not even quite sure what I meant by some of those, but just based off that, rounded corner, I'm not really seeing anything rounded, anything that's too bad. So I'm gonna lean more towards 10, come back at 10. That would be pretty sick. Next, I got a Trevor Lawrence. This is a 2021 score, Trevor Lawrence, and then this obviously got some kind of numbering to 225. Got a little gold flaky stuff going on there. Back dirty by Panini. I don't know if there's some like dirt marks over here. Maybe over here a little dirt-ish something going on, and then black dots by the NFLPA. Oh, there's little black dots over here, and by the 301 up here, some dark dots. And I marked this as a 9. That's interesting why I marked that as a 9. 9, I'm gonna say 9, possibly even upside of 10. So it does look, pretty clean. Now, I'm looking at it in the saver, so that can throw it off a little bit. Next, we got a Tom Brady. This is 2022 Prism Brady Purple at a 125. Front centering right to left, so it is a little heavier, I could see on this side than that side, but it's very minuscule. They might let that slide. Front centering right to left, and then scuff marks down the center of the card on the back. Maybe it's like print lines or whatever, but I figured I would. Saver is dirty. That's not a good sign. So numbered 101 out of 125. Wrote this down, and then 2 to 3 dimples on the face, maybe on the back, either back or front. There's some dimples on the card. And then, I wrote this 9 or a 10. For sure a 9, upside 10. So I'm going to send that guy in. Next, we got a pretty cool one. This is, let's see here, what do I got? This 2022 Prism. Where do I got this one marked? Okay, Brady Profile. So the back has light scuffs, little lines right to left. Not quite sure where those were at, if they're top, middle, or bottom. but there's scuffs on right to left, and scratch by the foot. Something on the front, maybe over here. And I gave this a 10. 10, I should be, I'd be happy, really happy with a 10. Pretty solid card. That'd be cool to come back as a 10. So next I have this rookie card, Aurora 2000 Aurora rookie. And for this guy, I got light scuffs on the front, scratches somewhere, scuffs. We got centering right to left. Centering looks pretty decent. On the back, centering might be a hair off. I mean, if it's off, it's ever so minuscule. I shouldn't really. And then there's some scuffs on backs. 2 corners damaged on the back. I'm guessing the corners are a little beat. Would be my guess. Top right edge. Top right edge. It's kind of hard to see this even in this card saver. So, and on this I wrote a 7 or an 8. PSA 7 or 8. If I get a 7 or 8 on this, I'd be pretty happy with those kind of flaws that I noted. Next, we have another 2013 orange Brady. With this one, we have on the back right hand edge chip. Right hand over here, there's like a little dent in that edge. Right hand top corner looked like it got bumped, and they all look like they got bumped in these when they're in the top savers. So I can't really see that. Front has light scratches, and front has 2 dimples. Front some light scratches and 2 dimples. So with this one, I wrote 9, but I'm gonna say based off of just what I have there, 9. I'm gonna say with an upside of a 10. So I'm gonna give it a 9/10. Add that to my note. And then 2022 fireworks. We got this guy, and then front print lines by the head. So on the front, there's some lines up by the head. I'm guessing. And this is still, these are still older ones that I had written notes on and set aside to grade, and then never pulled the trigger on grading it. So then the back, there's a line, light print lines. Looks like they go side to side on this one. This is numbered to 99, 49 out of 99. Back top edge is raised. Once again, the edge looks like it's kind of raised up. So with this one, I got this at under a 9. Figured whatever, send it. Maybe somebody's feeling generous, might give it a 10. So 9 with upworks of being a 10. So now we have a 98 Bowman Best, a green Manning, Best Performers. Look this one over. Back had some print lines, a decent amount. And so the way this material is, it just stuff scratches so easy. And there was quite a bit of like light scuff, print lines, scratch marks, whatever you want to call them, from people shuffling the card without, I guess, having a case or anything on it. So I gave this one a 9, guaranteed a 9, or at least I think it'll get 9 minimum with the upside of a 10. Next we have a Bowman Chrome Peyton Manning rookie. So back is off center, left to right. If you're holding it like this and that, you guys can see there's quite a difference there. So with this one being off center, a 9 lowest, top, with the possibility of a 10. And just in case, I'm not sure what they how they rate that. Next, we have a Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson, with them, I think they lost in the playoffs, so they are out. But would like to get this graded. I'm sure in the offseason somebody will be looking for some stuff. 18 Donners, Lamar Jackson, front top, left hand corner looks like it's rolled. That one, I'm assuming, top right hand. This one looks like it's rolled. I'm not quite sure about that. I can't really see the corners. And then the bottom edge chipping. So, just the way it's cut, kind of like a little bit of chipping going on. So that is interesting. And then there's scratches by the name. So, I don't know if it's on the front. I think it was on the front that I had the scratching on the name. So I gave this one, at least a 9 with the with the potential of being a 10. And then next I got another Bowman. I got a 2000 Bowman rookie. And I was looking this one over, and man, it was kind of just beat up a little bit all over the place. Starting off with the centering, you can see the centering is off there. Back edges are chipped and somewhat tore up, chipped. So you can see on the edges some of these chips or the edges are chipped with kind of the paint missing. And I know they'll be dinging on that. So like a couple spots. Front bottom left hand corner, there's a ding. It's kind of soft, it's got a little bit of whiting to it. with the black background, you can kind of see that easier. This corner up here looks like it's got some light on it too. Front, off center, right to left, indent line on back, top center pits, so it's had some like pitting up here kind of on this edge. So with this, I give this a 6, potentially a 7. I mean, I'm not sure how to grade, how they knock down, or how they kind of do the grading there. Just some of this stuff is kind of big, like the edge chips and stuff like that, off center. So who knows? I'm saying a 6 with the potential of it being a 7. 7 would be awesome, but that is that. So next we got a Topps Finest. This is gonna be like an X-Fractor. On the back, I had some like rolled corners to where it looks like they were just in something like this, to where the corners aren't flat anymore. It kind of like curves down or out, along the corners. And I'm not quite sure how PSA grades for stuff like that, but gonna send. There's a few of them in the submission with that going on. So we'll see. And then on the back, there are some light scratches on the back, and then off centered right to left. So I was able to kind of gauge it between this cutout there and that cutout, and I can see that that is smaller, that is a lot bigger, so it's definitely shifted off into one direction. But otherwise the front looks really awesome, looks really good, and possibly even the same off-center issue with the QB and the 12. It being, looks like it's cut more this way, so could be off-center there as well. Other than that, everything looked pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 9 just because of the centering issue. We'll see what they give us. Next, I have a 2020 Red Ice Tua, and with this one on the back top edge, there's some chipping. So we'll start with the back top edge, some chipping, and just the way it's cut, it just kind of has like an ugly. It's not a clean cut. It's got kind of like some kind of like looks like its stuff was embedded when it was cutting, and it got kind of pressed into the back of the card. So back light lines left to right, so side to side there were some lines, some light lines from, maybe it was in the thing, and it was, as it was getting shifted, it was sliding against the chrome cards, and it was getting scratched up. And then on the front top edge, I have that mark for something. Just the way that it's cut, and it kind of somewhat ugly, kind of hard to see, but it's got that little ugly cut on it. So with this one, I gave this a 9 with the potential of being a 10. So we'll throw that one in the pile. And then next we have another Tua, a Tua rookie, 2020 Tua orange laser. Starting on the back again, I have notes for top edge chipped. Once again, same thing. The way it's cut just looked really ugly and had some kind of indentations on it. And then on the back, all the corners are rolled. Once again, it was sitting in a case, and it was just getting, something like this, to where all the edges are pressed down and just kind of curved down. Everything else is flat except for the corners kind of dip down. And then the front is off-centered top to bottom, so you could see that is a little higher and that is a little bit smaller, so it's a little off top to bottom. So with this one, I just gave it a 9. I don't think it'll get a 10, just because I think the surface scratching on the back was pretty heavy. So I'm just going to send this one anyways, just to see kind of how that goes and what it does. So next we have a Crunch Time 2023 Crunch Time Justin Jefferson, and what I looked on this, everything looked pretty good. There were 4 dimples that I kind of saw on the back, or like divots, and they were pretty small. Front edges were bumpy, and just kind of same thing, the way it was cut, kind of rounded over the whole edge, or something like, this edge looked kind of goofy. But and I gave this a score of a 9 and 10, with heavy on the 10. So we'll see how that one comes out. Next we have a 2023 Donruss Pink Optic preview of Puka Nacua. Started off with the back again. It was off center right to left. You could see that is a little thicker, that is thinner, so that is something that it could potentially get dinged on. And then the back edges, the way it was cut right up top, it's got like that flaky, once again, just kind of an ugly cut, and there's little, like, looks like stuff was just kind of indented or kind of beat into it. And then on the top left-hand corner, it was kind of same thing, rolled a little bit, like, or it was kind of rolled up actually on this one. So maybe with it being in the top, this top saver, it'll kind of help push that down, but who knows. And then a little chrome defect by the leg. Looked like there was some kind of dust when it was getting chromed, and it's got like a little swirly, like a little line. So we'll see. I'm thinking this is gonna be a 9. If it gets a 10, I'll be happy, but I'm just gonna say, you know what, risk it, try to get the biscuit and send that. So next we have a 23 pink of Rashee Rice. And off center, top to bottom is what I got marked on this one. So a little bit thicker there, a little thinner there, but everything else looked pretty solid, pretty clean cuts around the edges. And then even on the back, there was no like flaky, no nothing. It looked pretty centered. Top, bottom, everything looked pretty good. So I'm gonna give this one a go and see. I got this as a 9-10 with a higher possibility of 8-10. Next we have a NFL debut, CJ Stroud, a mosaic rookie card of CJ, and top edge cut weird. So can see a lot of chrome cards that I've noticed had kind of like that ugly edge, kind of the way it was just cut was ugly. It's not very clean. A little kind of looked like it's rolled over, but it's kind of bumpy. It's kind of goofy, but that was the only issue that I saw with it. Other than that, it was pretty centered. Left to right looked pretty solid. Back looked pretty solid. There was no discoloration, no beat corners, no edge issues. So gonna go ahead and send that one as well. Next we got a Joe Burrow. This is one that I kept, and I'm thinking that one's gonna get a 10, that CJ Stroud. And then I got this Joe Burrow blue scope. This is one that I've been kind of tossing around back and forth. Send it, don't send it. And kind of kept looking it over just to kind of see what I can, what kind of flaws, why I kept putting it back the other times. And there were some light lines on Burrow, but like by his feet over here. So there was like light scuffing. And then on the back, top two corners are rolled. They're kind of, once again, rolled down like they were in case, sitting in the case. So they're kind of flattened and down. And then side edges are fluffy or kind of cut weird, and it's got little frayed stuff coming off. I try to hit it with some tape just to kind of pull off any loose stuff, but it's not perfect. So who knows, a Joe Burrow scope would be pretty cool. So I got this one as a 9 just because 9 with possibility of a 10, and we'll see kind of where that ends up. Next we have a 2010 Score Gronk rookie. So I looked this one over, and this one was really clean. There was only thing I noticed was there was like a little light scratch over here in the numbering where the numbers are in the back. Other than that, corners, everything looked great. Edges looked awesome. With a paper card, I'm not sure what they kind of ding you on, but this looked like a 10 to me. So I figured send it. Not much price wise, not much of like oh hey, this is gonna make me a bunch of money. But I'm like, hey, that's a guaranteed 10. I looked at it, looked really good. So here's another one that I looked at. It's like a $2 card, but it's a rookie of Marshall Faulk on a Topps Stadium Club, members only. So it's got like a chrome-ish finish. Topps rookie picks, pretty awesome card. And same thing, awesome all the way around, no issues. I saw no problems. Centering looked really good. So I'm gonna send this one. Once again, I saw another one that sold for like $20. I'm like, that was a PSA 10, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sell mine for that cheap. I'm gonna list it for a little higher and kind of see if it does come back a 10 and see how it goes. So kind of some of these low high risk, low reward type cards here with the Gronk and the Marshall Faulk, but rookie cards that look really clean, so had to send them. And then here's another one that was just laying around, John Morant. This one goes back to the first time I tried to do a PSA submission through another grader, and I got scammed. The guy took a bunch of people's money and never sent anybody stuff, bought himself a new house. People were threatening to file a lawsuit and he had all our cards. He took the money up front to grade, took all our stuff, and he never graded any of the cards, and he still had the cards. So a lot of people are like, man, I got $5,000 worth of cards sitting at this dude's house. Like, hey, let's, they made a group to kind of go after this guy, and somebody lawyered up, and they sent him letters saying, hey, we're going to come after you. And he started sending back everybody their stuff. So he sent me back my cards. I got my cards back, but he did not refund the money that I sent him for, grading. And this was back when John Morant and Zion Williams were super hot in the COVID, era time. And, this card sat at his place probably for 2 years, and then I got it back, and it's just been laying around at my place. And this was one of the cards that, and I wasn't a solid grader. I didn't know how to grade or whatever. I just looked it over, looked pretty good, and I sent it to him, and he looked it over and said, yeah, I'll at least get a 9 or 10. So he was going to send this one anyway. So this is one I'm just going to send and see what happens. I know John Morant's been getting into some trouble, kind of acting dumb, but if he ever gets his head straight, going to be a solid card, and it being a reactive blue or red or whatever it was, this would be a cool card to get graded and hopefully make a couple bucks on if it comes back a 10. So there we have it. We'll see what all of these will come back as, and let's hope for the best. So see you guys. Peace.